Sooner Scoop HD.
Couple of days since that Villanova loss, just as time has gone by, what's been your takeaways from that loss?
You know, it's the message to our guys is these high level games are going to be possession by possession. It comes down to a lot of little things, and we just where can we get better? I thought our guys played hard. They went in there in a awesome environment and weren't afraid. Didn't let the crowd get to them. I never looked. They were confident. We did a lot of good things. We had some. He had some big shots. Daniels hit that huge three. I mean, you push pause. Jalen Hill can't be contesting him anymore without fouling him. But we got to find ways to win. Like it comes down to a lot of little things. A lot of little things. 2 points here, 3 points there, 2 points there that you could have avoided if you would have done this or that. And that's the way a lot of these games are. High-level games, you start to get into conference, little things matter, and it came down to some little things in that game.
What Bob next?
Porter, first net rankings came out today. I know in the grand scheme of things it doesn't mean that much, but is it a good idea maybe like where you stand, where the team gauges at this moment, and is it maybe a little shot in the arm he's saying Houston ranks so high?
It's too early to really just be so focused in on it because it's going to fluctuate. Like I know when we get into the meat of our schedule, you're going to see the nets fluctuate because the strength of schedule will just go through the roof when you start going game in and game out. What we got to do is what we can control. We thought Sam Houston was very good when we played him, so we knew they were good. But you do the human part of it is you do root for teams that you beat or lost, because you want them to do well based on how the net is factored in. But it's so early; you'll drive yourself completely crazy if you're spending. It's like social media. If you spend there analyzing the net for so long every day, because it's going to change. You got to spend more time preparing our team. Can control what we can control. Spend a lot of time these last 48 hours on UMKC, what they do well, their strengths, I'd be lying if I tell you I didn't look at it. I mean, I saw it today. I looked at it. It's just breezed over everything and looked at it, but that's about the extent of it.
Knowing the games you've got coming up, some tough Power 5 opponents before the new year, and then the conference schedule kicks in. What are those next steps that this team need to make from the early season steps they took?
One, I'm always thinking that both there's so many answers to that question. Like I feel like we can get better so much offensively, doing some different things. I feel like defensively, there's so many things. I think we got to get deeper. I think we got some guys not playing to their capabilities, and I want to help them with that. I want them to help themselves with that. I want that. We've got to get deeper as we head into this and getting more production from some guys, and that's a big thing as we head into this thing because you need all hands on deck. You need to be deep, and I think we have the potential to be deep. I just think we got to get some guys playing better than they are, and I got to help them with that.
I guess maybe a better way of asking what I meant to ask too is, the high-level games. The first few weeks you were talking about this team just learning to close out games, put teams away, win games. After this weekend, and again, opportunities. What are maybe those other things against a Villanova and soon Arkansas, Florida, and into conference schedule against the high-level teams this team needs to work with?
Stops at the end. Like I thought we played 3 Power 5 conferences teams in Orlando, and Nebraska scored basically 2 points in the last 4 or 5 minutes. They hit a 3 at the buzzer, so it was 5, but it basically 2. Seton Hall was 0 or 2 or 4, and then Ole Miss was 0 in the last 4. Last 5:23, Villanova scored 17. 5:23 left in the game. They had 53 points, I think it was. In the end, it was 70. You've got to close out defending and rebounding. All right, you're going to miss some shots here or there. We had a turnover that we just got poked out of our hand. And we'll get better at that. But we did a good job against high-level teams, just getting stops at the end, and we got to do better. We didn't do good getting some stops. A lot of that was Daniels. I thought he made some big plays. We had an undisciplined error. We went off and tried to trap the post from underneath when we shouldn't have, and we gave up a kick-out 3 to Archinaco. You can't have those breakdowns down the stretch. You got to be really solid down the stretch because little things matter. Little things matter. And, you just got to be super disciplined. We took a shot up 4 with 5 minutes left. That's a different shot if there's 15 minutes left in the game. But we're up 4 with 25 seconds, and they had their center closing out on us, and we took a shot. You got to learn from that. We did the same thing against Sam Houston. So I don't want our guys to get tight. There's certain guys that have the green light, but always time and score is a factor. Last 5 minutes is just different. So those are things in these big games is, man, getting so many people on board when little things matter. You've got to be really disciplined and communicate and be on track knowing how to win close games. And I thought we were doing that. And we did a lot of good things. We just came possession short against Villanova.
We'll go to Jesse, then Jason.
Porter, I wanted to ask you about Jacob Groves. He had a couple threes to start that Villanova game. He's shooting really well just to start the season. What have you seen from him in terms of outside shooting, and what would you like to see from him as the season continues?
Man, he's been super consistent. I like he's getting inside. We went to him on an inside basket. He super confident, as he should be, because he's put the work in. He's put the work in the weight room to get stronger. He's put the work in on his shot. Totally confident in him. I like his mentality to post up. We've been getting 1 or 2 baskets, posting him up every game. We got another one late in the second half, Tanner to him on a post up. So been very consistent, really confident. He's put the work in, and he's seeing his work pay off.
We'll go Jason.
Porter, this is kind of looking back at your past from 2002, and I'm going to be
2002.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was going 20 years back in my this conference.
I talked to Steve Shields from Little Rock, and just kind of how this facing Arkansas is kind of a full circle moment for you, because at one point you interviewed for that head coaching job. I think it was after the 2002 season. Just kind of walk me through, what was that experience like interviewing for that job, and how has it come full circle now that you're coaching at Oklahoma and facing them?
I'll be honest with you. I'm sure I'm going to do one of these like Wednesday or Thursday. Let me answer that before Arkansas. I haven't even thought about Arkansas. I don't want to talk about Arkansas. I mean, UMKC, but I'd be more than happy to dive down that rabbit hole and talk about that went down then back then. And I'll do that in the next one as we preview in Arkansas. I'll be more than happy to do that.
Go to Bobby.
Talk about getting more guys going. I imagine CJ is one of them. What's he got to do to try to get that spark going?
You know what? God, CJ's, he's going to be a big piece for us. He's, and he'll be the first one to tell you, he wants to play better. But man, he's been amazing staying with it. Like in the film sessions, he knows he's on top of everything. He's got it. I couldn't ask him to be more attentive. I mean, he's hanging on every word. He's coachable. His attitude's great. And we got a handful of guys like that, not just CJ. Those are guys that, we want to get better. And I got to help them through it. They got to help them through it. But you just got to start as a player, doing it in practice, seeing the ball go through practice, getting extra shots up, get excited about the little things. It's not all, I always say this, you can't put all your eggs in your shooting basket. And what I always mean by that is you can't let your offense or that shot go in dictate the rest of your game. And he's not doing that, but you can get yourself hyped up. He had a really nice steal in the second possession of the game. He actually came down, it was after a nice ball screen. He came down, deflected it, saved it in bounds. And just trying to show him, man, there's value in a lot of different ways. But yeah, definitely, I think CJ's got a big room to take a leap. He's one of the guys that I think can take a leap.
We'll go to Eli next. It's been a quick turnaround, but as far as UMKC goes and the scouting, who are you most intrigued by on the other side when you're watching it?
Man, their guards. Is it McQuarters? I mean, the Raquin from the UIC transfer. He can really. He had 35 against Toledo. They're long and athletic. They're rebounding. I feel like I'm at basketball camp sometimes. I don't want to butcher their name, McWaba, but he's God, he's so strong. He's a mismatch guy. He'll get down there and post you up. But they all, the two brothers, Promise and Precious, so long and athletic, are going to be really good players. They just crash the glass. I'm impressed with how hard they crash the glass. I'm impressed with their one-on-one ability. They have. They remind me of Doss from Pine Bluff, who I thought could really go one-on-one. They're going to press you. They're going to zone you. They're going to change defenses. I've known Marvin for many years at UMKC. He was with Rick Pitino back at Louisville before he became the head coach at New Mexico State. He's one that had Pascal Siakam at New Mexico State. So he's got some guys in that mold, long, athletic. In his first year, he brought in a lot of new guys. So I'm impressed with their rebounding, how hard they draw fouls because they go downhill. They'll drive you. We've been good against really good rebounding teams. I think that's been a strength of ours because I always say to our guys, you don't have to be the biggest, longest, athletic, but we can be the best blockout team. And I think we block out. We've done really well on the glass this year, and we got to continue to do that against this team.
Go back to Jason.
Porter, kind of looking back at the game that you guys just played, you ran out a three-guard lineup of Los, Bijan, and then Grant. Kind of talk about that lineup. Is that something we're going to see going forward? And I know you mentioned Kansas City. You like their guards. Is adding those three guys in within a rotation, does that kind of help against Kansas City? Is that something you're looking
It's something I really liked. We explored it in Orlando. We really went with it at an Ole Miss game. And that was kind of the first game we did it, and we really liked it. It takes pressure off one guy having to be that guy. Grant can score so well, and sometimes in Bijan and Los, those guys can do it. So I definitely, like it. Defensively, you're always, we switch a lot, so they got to be able to guard different guys with that defensive alignment. But I think all three of those guys can really pass. And when you get three guys that can really pass and they all can knock down the shot, then I love the spacing with that lineup. So definitely moving forward, you're going to see it, and I like it.
Any additional questions? Go ahead, Nick.
I want to ask about Grant Schofield has become one of your team's lead scorer. He's sixth or something like that in the Big 12 in points per game. Has he kind of exceeded your expectations maybe to become like the guy on the team, or is that just something that you thought he was going to be all along when you got him?
We thought he was going to be very good. We were very good. We thought he was going to be a guy that had that ability to score the ball. The thing about Grant and myself is it's way too early to we both have this chase to get better. When we're watching film, we're breaking down film. We were talking about reads yesterday, reads on different things, different scenarios, and talking about that, talking about different things, getting better defensively, talking about as a leadership on a team. So, with him, he's a very good player, and he's doing a ton of good things. And the thing I like about Grant is that bothered him that we lost. He hit 6 threes, scored 20-some points, and we were talking about what we could have done better. How do we win that game? And that's the good thing about Grant.
What do you specifically look at in those film sessions when you two are together?
Well, we were. That was with the team. We talked about the reads, and we with that. And I told those three guards, a quarterback goes to the sideline when his defense is on, and they got photos, and they're looking at it and saying, "What can I do better?" So, whether that's the same thing with basketball in terms of what was open on this ball screen? What did they take away? What are you reading? Did they roll? Is the shake open? Is the roll open? Is my shot open? And you just talk about of the reads on the stuff, and those are the kind of things. I mean, we in our get better taste, we're talking about a lot of things we can do better defensively, offensively with everybody. But with Grant and Los and Bijan, they got the ball in their hands so much, and it's I think we're valuing the ball better too. That first game debacle of 6 assists, 21 turnovers. We've taken care of the ball much better since then, the first couple games. So that's a positive. I think Grant really takes care of the ball, As a point guard, I mean, look at his assist to turnover numbers. With the ball in his hand, as much as it is with Grant, and as much as people are coming after him, he's got an outstanding assist to turnover ratio.
Sooner Scoop HD.